Hello, stranger. So you clicked on this video because you feel ugly. I mean, that's why I titled it, clicked on this video if you feel ugly. So I just wanted to talk about a few things. First off, I got my period today, and as uncomfortable or annoying as I feel like I should feel, I'm actually kind of glad because Halloween's coming up, and what I don't want to do is have my period on Halloween. And I also don't track my period. I know everyone kind of like has already been into the whole like period tracker, but like I've never cared to track it. I just feel like it would be consistent when it needs to be consistent. I feel like if I stay healthy enough and I just be, I don't know, I was just too lazy to track it. I was like, I'll get it when I get it. I might as well add this. I got my period 9-10ish years old. I know it's pretty young, but 9-10ish years old, I got my period. So I feel like from 10 to 19, almost 10 years of being a period haver, I feel like at a certain point you kind of track your own personal patterns of when you're gonna get your period. The reason why I titled this, click on this video if you feel ugly, or something like that. I'm gonna title it something like that, because usually right before my period I get like these few symptoms, right? One, I get really hungry. I think that's like a really common one. Like I get hungry, or my appetite starts to increase, so I get hungrier. I have like certain cravings for things that I've never really usually craved, things like that. That's normal. And on a like normal me, I guess, because we all know, well, we don't all know, but if you don't know, research shows that women are on a consistent cycle. So like once our period done, it's not like we're just normal human beings. Like we have another cycle. I forgot what they're all called, but I think it's like luteal, something like that. The female human body has these different cycles that it goes through, and this is what I care to wear. Oh, and it's red for a period. I'm accidentally on theme, look at that. But yeah, what was I saying? The female human body, it goes through different cycles and different phases. And so when I feel like I'm gonna get like my period cycle, I usually get, obviously, like I said, cravings, but then I also start to feel a little bad about myself. Like, I don't know if other women go through this, but I start to get into the mindset of maybe I'm ugly, or maybe life is so terrible for me. Like even then, like the previous video that I posted, my first YouTube video, which you should go check out, it was basically just me like pondering and, you know, having my sorrows pairs for my life. And usually I get in that type of mindset before I get my period. Then when I get my period, it's like it's all clear. Like, no, I don't want it to end at all. My period is just coming, it's okay, everything's all right. I say this to say, a lot of times when women go through their most insecure phase, or their most I think I'm ugly phase, it's usually because we're on the up and coming of getting our period. And I also just happen to think about some women who have this thought about themselves constantly, like women who, whether they're coming on their period or they're just coming off, they just always feel like they're unattractive, or they always feel like whatever, right? As a growing girl in American society, I myself have battled with a lot of insecurities that have stopped me from doing things that I've always wanted to do. Things that I've always wanted to do, such as content creation, putting myself out there, putting my personality out there, thinking that I'm somebody people would probably eventually grow to be entertained by, whatever that means. Yeah, I've just always had this like feeling of, oh, what if people judge me? And even right now, like literally I had that feeling today. Like today I was like, oh, I could be posting Instagram reels, but like there's so many people that I don't want knowing that I do that, follow me. But then at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we can just simply unfollow them. But they're like people that I care about though. Like it'd be people that I care about the most. Like it'd be the people that I don't really care about, I don't care what they see me post, but it'd be the people that I care about the most, that I care to see what I post. Even if what I post isn't like dramatic or anything, I just don't want people that I just don't want them to know. Like, why do they have to know? They don't have to know. Nobody has to know. But how could they know? Aliyah. But basically, I'm just saying this to say that I've had a lot of insecurities growing up that have stopped me from doing what I wanted to do. This being one of those things. I was always insecure of my teeth. Like, these are just my natural teeth. Like, I didn't grow up, like, my parents, not obviously, because you don't know me. They were a separated couple of people. So, not even they're just separated. Not even separated. I don't even consider them ever for real together. Like, just dead ass. But on a less personal note, let's just say that they were very fluff type parents. I didn't really have parents that did a lot of like parental things, like taking me to the dentist, getting me to get braces, things like that. Like, when I get the money, I'm gonna get myself some braces. When I get the support, I'll get myself some braces. Things like doctor's visits and like parent-teacher conference, like those things were like any other like additional parental things that other parents were doing, they were not like at all involved, especially my dad. I think I've had more Christmases than I've experienced my father. I could have multiple Christmases in a year and it still won't add up to the amount of times I've seen that guy. So, but I say this to say that my parents were very fluff. Like, when my dad did come around, it was always like for like shopping or like something simple that he could take care of. My mom, you know, she was definitely like a spoiler in the sense of, yeah, we had like snacks and stuff and like good TV, movies and stuff, but when it came down to like heavy parent shoots, it was like pulling teeth, you know? It's always like pulling teeth when it comes to something that is other than fluff things, like little recitals and little just stuff that took them having to, I don't know, do important parent things, was like pulling teeth. Unless it was fun or something fluff, then they could handle that. But the reason why I bring this up is because all those things adding up to my life, plus the type of other people that I had raising me growing up, it really tore me apart on the inside. I battled a lot of mental health issues, not like mental health in terms of like crazy, like I wasn't an asylum bound kid, but I just wasn't like, I just always compared myself to other kids living normal lives, which most kids do, but in the sense that a lot of what I was going through was not normal to the average kids that I was around. Now, I'm not saying I was dragged through the mud. Like, I know it could have been way worse, but it also still wasn't good. So I say that to say a lot of those things about my upbringing definitely took a toll on who I became as a young woman. And as a young woman and teenager and middle schooler who grew up feeling highly insecure about herself, didn't think I was pretty, didn't think I was anything, I just felt like, and let me add this, right? I was a really tall girl. I am still kind of a tall girl. Like, I'm 5'8", I'm like 5'8", 5'7". I'm 5'8". Like, dead ass. Like, I'm 5'8" on a normal day. Like, on a good day when I want to feel small and petite that I can take a shower in the sink, maybe I'm 5'7". Maybe I'll say I'm 5'7". But on a normal day, I'm 5'8". Being that tall girl, and I had an early growth spurt because, like I said in the beginning, I got my period around like 9-10ish. I was growing fast, boobs coming in fast, hips coming in fast, and my body was trying to regulate its weight. So as that might seem normal, to me, I felt abnormal because to majority, only like 2 of the other girls were like me. But I was the only black girl going through it heavy kind of that early. So And there were many other black girls. Everyone else was kind of Hispanic, but like not like my type of Hispanic, like Hispanic, like just your regular light brown, white passing Hispanics, you know. Nobody was Afro Latina like me, so that's already a dub. So being that, growing big, boobs, hips, weight fluctuating, I'm not only tall in length, but I'm kind of wider than every other girl. And because I'm not only Latina, but I'm Afro Latina, like okay, let's lock in and let me paint the picture. When your mom is Dominican and your dad is black, mixing up the genes, you get a Dominican black girl. Okay. But a lot of those African American genes are dominating. So I grow taller than the average Hispanic girl. If my mom had procreated with as a Dominican woman with a regular Hispanic man, I would have been short. I would have been 5'6" the most. That African American man gene added me up to be 5'8", and my mom was like 5'4". You have the average Hispanic woman being short, you know. Not oftentimes are they tall, they're oftentimes short. Then the men are oftentimes short. This is just culture. This is not me trying to like insult anybody. This is just what I've grown up seeing, being around in heritage, culture, common genetic genes. Like, this is just what it is. But because half of my genes are just regular African American, I look bigger. I am bigger, taller, more brothy than the average Hispanic girl. And then on top of that, I'm also 11, 12, 10, 9, 8 years old, going through these things. And every other 8 year old, every other 8-year-old who's a Hispanic little girl, Ecuadorian, Puerto Rican, whatever, every other 8-year-old little girl gets to be 4'11" for the next 5 years until they had their growth spurt and they add up to 5'4" and they stop growing, or 5'5" and they stop growing. Nope, I continued growing. I didn't stop growing till like 8th grade, and in 8th grade I was already 5'7". In 8th grade I was already 5'7", so maybe I like grew like an inch, maybe more in high school, and that was it. But and then on top of that, my dad has very thick women on his side. My side of women aren't really like thick, like they're not thick, like they're just not. So a lot of my genes, physical characteristics, even the way I look just like my dad. A lot of my physical characteristics are from my father's side. So not only am I 9, 10, 11, 12, height of 5'6", 5'7", while all the other little girls get to be 4'11", 5 feet, I'm taller than that. And then the little boys too, because you know girls have their growth spurt, have their puberty before boys. So all the boys were also 4'11", 5 feet, 5'2", the most. I think the tallest boy, he was like Puerto Rican and white, and he was like my height by the time he was in 8th grade too. Like, we were neck and neck. Like, I was the tallest girl, and his white genes is what I probably, and his mom was kind of tall, if I remember. His mom was kind of tall, but she was kind of tall for a Hispanic woman, I think. I don't remember. She could have been tall to me just because I was a little kid, and we could be the same height right now. Like, I believe that we could possibly be the same height right now. Being that type of size compared to all the other little Hispanic girls in my grade, yeah, I looked rocky. Yeah, I felt like a very big, not ugly, but just not cute. Every little girl had just, and then you got to take into consideration, this was like 2013, 2012, 2014, 15. Like, this is peak high 2010 colorism. Everything was about being light skinned. Everything was about having a slim thick. I'm talking like Timmy thick, slim thick with her cute ass type of vibes happening. 2012 to 2016, 17ish, those were the years where it was always light skins over dark skins. Like if you go on YouTube during that era, you will find high school students and like not really middle school, really high school students doing the whole dark skin versus light skin high school interview type. Like that was what was popping at the time. Like if you remember that age of YouTube, like you know what I'm saying. I say this because every other girl other than me and me and two other girls actually were light skinned. Like I was like when bro, I'm like stuttering because there's so many pieces to this puzzle that I gotta piece just to make it make sense so that you can see it through my lens. I feel like if you're my age and you're my demographic of person, then you understand what I'm saying already. But if you're not, then I feel like I need to build on it. I feel like I need to build on it. So to build on it, we gotta add also, when I was in like second, first, third grade, there was like one other girl. There was like one dark skinned girl, and I know her name, but I'm not gonna say her name just out of privacy. But I know her name. I remember her name. I remember her full name because her full name was so niche. I remember her full name. Like it was like I think I would rarely ever say just her first name. I would always say her first name and last name. But she was dark skinned and she was from Africa. Not from Africa. Like she wasn't from. I don't even think she was ever from Africa. She was just an African girl, African parents, and I think she was Ghanaian. Ghana, and she was trolled so much for being dark skinned. It was like the butt of the joke all the time, and I never did that to her because I liked her. Like she was a cool person. I was also one of the other few black girls, so we making friends. She was the only dark skinned girl, and the Africa jokes, especially during that time of the world where like Ebola and all that shit, like that was the running joke of the time. And then she just stopped going to her school. I don't know if maybe if it was the bullying or if it was just her parents that pulled her out, but once she stopped going to her school, I think I still follow her on Instagram to this day, but once they pulled her out, everyone was saying, oh, she went back to Africa. And that never sat right with me. I was like, how do you know she went back to Africa? How do you know? How did she say that? I don't even know. I don't even remember. Maybe she did go for vacation and then came back and then changed schools. Whatever it was, she just went somewhere else. I hope she's thriving and living a beautiful life. They did that and they would say that to her. And that was just one of the many, types of things people back then with the light skin versus dark skin thing used to say. Then there was this other girl. She was darker than me. I think she still is kind of a little bit darker than me, but she was like a type of South Asian or Middle Eastern, not South Asian. I don't know too much about the geography of Asia, so excuse me for my ignorance, but in basic terms, people would at our young age of like 8, 9, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10, we would consider her like Indian. I don't think she was necessarily Indian, but she looked like that prototype. But she had like not light, but like she had like hazel eyes, and she had like straight, long hair. Like it was a thing. Like it was her shtick. Like that she couldn't cut her hair unless she was gonna cut it into a short bob. But it was her thing that culturally she was just not supposed to cut her hair. So she was known for having extremely long hair, and she was a beautiful, gorgeous girl. I think she still is a beautiful, gorgeous girl. I'm pretty sure. I say this to outline the internalized colorism, racism, and colorism at that young age. And seeing that play out, the only reason why I had friends or some sort of like level of popularity at that time, at that age, was because I was funny. I had personality, and my personality rocked with the right group of people. I wasn't like necessarily in a clique, but I had some respect behind my name just because I was talented and funny. That's just in middle school. And I say this because growing up having a lot of internalized insecurity because of not only of the time period we're living in, obviously, access to the internet, though, but also the things that I grew up hearing from someone in my family. Those things added up together made me feeling ostracized just physically, because I just physically looked different, physically was always taller, physically was always bigger, physically was always a little bit more overdeveloped than everyone else at that time. It did make me feel like I was not ugly, but just not cute like everyone else. So having that growing sense of like fear in myself and what I am and stuff, like I just did not have any sort of like physical confidence. Now, did I have personality confidence? Like, I could talk to anybody. Like, I don't care what I look like, who you think I am. Like, I was that girl personality wise. Like, people couldn't touch me personality wise. Like, I was gonna make somebody laugh, I was gonna make somebody, you know, excited, whatever, you know. But when it came to physicality, like thinking, like, you know, things like that, I just did not feel like myself. I didn't feel, not even like myself. I didn't know myself. I didn't know myself as well as I thought I did. So because of that, I grew up thinking I was ugly, and I did not like myself. I didn't have any like self-pride or anything physically. And then quarantine hit, obviously, late 8th grade 2019. Y'all remember that was that no idea it's on Tolliver type winter. Like, I remember that winter like it was yesterday. A lot about why I had these insecurities were not just because people were, it was more so environmental. My environment growing up also wasn't very stable, so that just added to why I just felt so incompetent and less than in comparison to my peers. So once I got to high school, kind of circa 2022, really, because that was when we really like locked in. We weren't locked in like quarantine wise, but I locked in like in the sense of who I was, because I was going through a lot. During quarantine, I was going through a lot mentally, and it just wasn't very healthy mentally for me to be locked up with all these different kinds of videos showing me hot women on beaches, and I'm here in this sluggy location with sluggy clothes and a sluggy body with a sluggy face. Like, I just did not feel well about myself at all, and I thought that I was a lost cause. I felt like life was set up against me, which it was. But now, as someone who doesn't have a lot of guidance or, you know, anything like that, as someone who didn't grow up with the best of guidance and stuff like that, I just wanted to always feel like I was welcome somewhere. I never really felt kind of fully welcome, because there was always something that made me off in comparison to the other person. I was very much comparing myself to other people. I was. And because of that, I always felt ostracized in comparison to my peers. I always felt like the ugly one, the big one, the fat one, whatever, right? And it just never made me feel good about myself, knowing that there was absolutely nobody but my sibling who could relate to what I'm going through and how I feel. Absolutely nobody, because it wasn't just mental, it was also environmental. It was environmental. It was the way that I'm being brought up. It was the way I'm being raised, where I'm being raised, and who I'm being raised by, that was also affecting my mind. You know, it was the full deal. It wasn't just like everything at home was fine and then when I get to school I'm being bullied. No, it's not like everything at home is fine and then when I get to school I have no friends. Not necessarily being bullied, but have no friends. Nope, not that either. It's not like everything at home is bad, but when I get to school I'm the most popular girl and I got like friends here and there and everybody likes me, everybody supports me. No, it was nothing that I can like look into a book, look into a show, movie, and feel any sort of relation to, except when I found the show Shameless. Shameless was and still to this day is the only show that I ever feel traumatically comforted And I could binge watch Shameless over and over again, but I don't, for the reason of that it hits so close to home so many times that sometimes instead of reliving it, I just want to hold off, better my life, better my situation, and then when I'm better and I'm out and I can healthily revisit visuals of certain things that I feel like I can very much relate to, then I'll be strong enough to go back in. But at the time, I wasn't ready. I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. I think I just found, I know. I was just on Netflix one day and I just found the show because, you know, it was like quarantine still, so there was not much new things dropping, and this show had a ton of seasons, a ton of episodes. So I was like, I found a jackpot. This and the 100, I was like, oh, I'm sold. There's tons of things to watch. There's so much things to take on, right? Mind you, I've never heard of the show Shameless until I found it. Like, I didn't find it thinking that it didn't exist, but I found it thinking that, oh, this has always existed. Never really watched cable TV shows like that unless it was like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, because that was at that age when I was watching cable TV. That was the kind of only cable TV I was watching. Only occasionally would I be watching like HBO, and it would always be for like Crash Box or like the occasional, if there's a movie that I saw that was flipping the channel that was familiar, then I would keep it on. But other than that, I'm always watching Disney Channel. We're always watching Nickelodeon, Disney XD, things like that. We're watching that Cartoon Network, that was also a popular one. Or we're on the music channel, what's that called? Music on Demand, MC. Like, that was what we were, when I say we, I mean my sister and I. But yeah, until I found Shameless, I actually found a show that kind of mirrored how I felt, how I feel, things that I was going through, this, that, and the third. But basically that was the only time I ever felt seen or comforted, and it was still traumatic at the end of it. So like, it was comforting and traumatic at the same time. So when I was coming to the conclusion that that's how I was feeling watching that show, I felt like, you know, I'm seeing what can be done and what can be fixed for my situation, and the only thing I can do is to just find peace about myself. Now, a lot of people would jump to the conclusion of, oh, if you're so insecure, just love yourself. Just love yourself. Work hard. Go study. Go to the gym. Drink matcha. Go buy a little boo-boo. Go get some Lululemon. Everything will be fine. You just have to love yourself. Sometimes when people don't just want to jump the gun just to love themselves and wake up and say fuck everything. No, some people just can't do that sometimes. Sometimes what people want is to rant and have somebody to listen to, kind of like what I'm doing now. Sometimes people don't want a conclusion or a solution immediately. Sometimes people just want to be heard. Sometimes people just want to be understood, and that's enough to give them the energy and the motivation that it takes to do the work that it's going to take for them to love themselves. Just to be clear, I felt terrible about myself for a long time, and I just felt like I was stuck and that I was never going to get better, never going to get cuter. You can always get cuter. Like, I feel like if you are the bare minimum of a girl, you can always get cuter. Like, don't ever think that, like, I was going through puberty. Like, yeah, I was fugly. Like, if anybody ever leaks any, like, picture of me, hold on, sorry, little gloss break. If anyone ever leaks any video or picture of me from middle school or like early high school, like, yeah, I was a fugly girl. I was, and I can admit that and not be embarrassed or ashamed anymore. Like, at this point, like, I used to get picked on for like my nose being big. Like, yes, my nose is round and bulbous. Okay, shoot me, you got me there, but it's not a crime. It's not. And I didn't do my eyebrows back then, so it was extremely bushy. Like, it was. I don't have naturally long lashes. Like, I don't really do my lashes, and I don't wear lashes. I'm going to eventually I'll get into it. But I gotta invest in what's gonna make me better, like a camera, a real camera, not just my phone camera, a real camera with a bigger light, that does a little bit better just for y'all. But I wanted to title this video watch this if you feel like you're ugly, because I genuinely think that there's a lot of people, whether they look like Madison Beer or Adriana Lima or like your average just girl just like me, that girls do have a flow of insecurity. Everyone does. Girls, guys, gays, theys, everybody. And I just feel like it was worth making a video about it today, because I was feeling about that way about myself just a little bit before getting my period. And I got my period today, and I can say, to y'all, I can say this to y'all because, like, one, I don't know how many people are gonna watch, but even if 1,000,000 people watch this, even if I get 1,000,000 views by tomorrow, I don't think it's so TMI to say I got my period today. Whoop-de-doo. Because I could say I got my period today and then post this whenever, and it be in a completely different day. I could post this and not be on my period by the time I post this, which hopefully not. Hopefully I stay consistent and get on it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. I was talking for like 6-7 minutes and y'all caught none of that. Love that for myself. Don't you just love it? But basically I was going on an entire, not rant, but like a little bit of a little bit of something about, skincare, the children's skincare, what kids want to be, interested in, that drunk elephant crap. Not even that drunk elephant is crap, but it's crap for them. They don't need that. They don't need that stuff. If you're a parent and your kid's begging you to use these crazy like tools, they don't need it. They don't. Okay? They're probably having acne, not because it's hormonal, because they're not going through puberty yet. They're probably getting acne from the blue light that's coming from the tablet. Fix it. Take away that tablet. Limit time on it. Give them a book. But yeah, basically, you're not ugly. You're just broke. You're not ugly. You're just broke. I am not ugly. I am just broke. I am not ugly. Why? Because I bet if I can pay to have my hair done as often as it needs to or wants to be done, except from it being from me, except from me doing my own braids or anything like that, I probably wouldn't be ugly. If I could pay to have my lashes done all the time, I probably wouldn't be that. I probably wouldn't be ugly. I wouldn't say I'm ugly now, but I'm just saying that there are additives that can make someone way prettier, that if they invested in and had the bank account to invest in, they probably would be able to, and they would probably end up looking more attractive than normal. That's not me trying to say that anybody naturally is ugly. That's just the truth that I'm saying, that there are things that can be invested in that can up your appearance. Everyone knows that. That's what clothes are for. We could if we lived in a world where it wasn't so taboo to walk around being naked and such, like, I feel like this light used to be brighter. It was like, I stay trying to fix it, but it's not gonna get fixed. So yeah, we're not ugly, we're just broke. Okay, some good makeup, earrings, gloss, a hairdo. I'm wearing my bonnet because I'm comfortable, but a hairdo, some lashes. I could probably be just like the next bad, but to me, I'm not at a point in my life where I'm worried about being a bad. If you're worried about me being a bad, that is your problem. That is your skill issue, and that has nothing to do with moi. Okay? If someone else is so worried about how you look, they ain't worried about themselves enough. If someone else is so worried about what aesthetic you got going on, they don't have enough in their life to worry about, and that sounds like a them problem. That is nothing that has anything to do with you, or that you need to deal with, or that you need to fix. That is all them. If you like it, I love it. I'm not worried about what nobody else look like no more. I mean, I may see a girl and be like, oh my god, I like that fit, I wish I had it. Oh my god, I like that hairstyle, I wish I could wear it. Sure, but in the sense that I care so much about what other people are wearing, that I'm gonna be going around bullying people or knocking down their personal confidence just because I don't like that skirt that they had on a random Tuesday. Like, what kind of life are you living? Do you even have one? Do you even have a life worth living if you have gone to a point in your psychological development that you're so locked into making other people insecure for who they are? Like, to me, like, what is that? Like, what is that? That ain't nothing to be proud of, and that's not anything I'm gonna be proud of or perpetuate. If you like it, I love it. Look, I got my glasses on. If I did some like mascara or like some like lashes, like, I would be cute too. It's really not that hard to achieve a certain look. You just need to know the tools and use the tools accordingly. And a lot of these tools are expensive. Look at the political and economic state of the world right now. You're not ugly, you're just broke. I'm not ugly, I was just broke. I wasn't even ugly back then. I was just hitting puberty, and that's fine. That's normal. That's regular. I think if I was in a normal group of other girls that had my same type of genetic makeup and was growth spurting the same way I was, I think I would feel less insecure and highly critical of myself if everyone else was just like me. But that's just not the world I was raised in. The version of the life that I'm living is not like everybody else's life. Somebody's life may be better or worse or similar, but not exactly. It's like, it's got none of... I had to burp, hold on. It's none of my concern anymore. It was my concern at one point in my life when I thought it was. It's not, and it never has. And I'm going to make sure that I live in a way that it never has to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video was calming enough, reassuring enough, because that's my love language, reassuring others and being reassured myself. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I get the editing done soon. I might just start editing today. Shit, why not? But yeah. Also, again, really sorry for the quality of today's video. I really don't know what's going on with my phone. Yeah, just a apology for that. I'm really sorry, but I still want to try to be consistent with videos, so I'm not gonna let this stop me. And if y'all are okay with it for now and let me sit and try to fix this and work it out, then, you know, thank you for your patience. But I just wanted to issue that apology. But yes, like I said, you're not ugly, you're just going through puberty. If you're young watching this video, if you're still under 25, you're still going through puberty. We're still going through different phases of puberty. We're still fluctuating different hormones, especially as women. We don't stop developing fully until 25. So expect to still be going through physical body changes. Just because you 18 and you think your booty too flat and you see the way all these other people look, don't get that BBL, because in 5 years time, don't fix yourself. Don't permanently do things to yourself just to fit a trend, or just to fit a look. Don't do it. I've always considered getting a nose job to like make my nose smaller or stuff, but I just feel like imagine if I looked like this. Imagine if I was talking to you looking like that. Like, you wouldn't, like, I look like Momo. Y'all know who Momo, I look like Momo. I think that my face and my features, I was born this way because they complement each other. Look, my nose is bulbous My lips are thick. My lips are big. My eyes are bold. My cheekbones are high. My cheeks are round. My head is short. It's round. Like, I'm round. I'm a really round facial girly. Round cheeks, round eyes, round nose, round lips. I'm just very round. I'm very round. And I've come to that conclusion. And because of that, I was able to healthily align myself with how I view myself. Also, I got all my nails off. Now I don't look crazy. But yes. So thank you for watching my video. More videos will be coming soon. More thoughts brewing. And if you like it, please comment what you think, how you feel. How were you raised? What were your personal identity issues, crises, whatever. What did you go through growing up that maybe affected your point of view and how you viewed yourself? Let me know anything, everything. If you've gotten this far, please comment the orangutan emoji. If you watched my other video, you would know that I said that this is my favorite emoji of all time. Like, and while you're here, subscribe. Anticipate more because it's coming. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Bye, strangers.